Niching your Etsy shop is super important, but many sellers are confused about what it actually means to choose a niche, or they confuse an industry with a niche. For example, shirts is not a niche. Shirts is an industry. A niche might be shirts for pet parents. Mugs is not a niche. It's an industry. A niche might be mugs for elementary school teachers. A niche points to a very specific type of product for a very specific type of person. And in a busy marketplace with millions of competitive sellers, having a defined niche can help you to stand out in more saturated industries like mugs and shirts. Which is why today I'll be showing you how I explore profitable niches every single day at eRank. For anyone who may be new here, my name is Starla, founder of the Handmade Alpha Academy for Etsy sellers and manager at eRank.com, Etsy's most popular SEO tool. Anytime I discuss niching here on my channel, there's always a few sellers who comment to say that they do well selling a little bit of everything, which is great. If you're finding success selling without a niche, definitely keep doing that. But for the new sellers and those who feel like they aren't able to compete with bigger shops, it might be time to start thinking about selecting a defined niche that already has notable demand on Etsy. Before heading over to eRank, it's important to stop and think a bit about what you do and where your interests lie. Sure, it's easy enough to say, I want to target whatever makes the most money, which is great, but if you don't know anything about the niche that you're targeting, it's going to be extremely hard to create items that your ideal target customers are actually going to be willing to buy. For example, a seller in my own community who lived outside of the United States attempted to launch a collection of shirts for the 4th of July, all themed around the American tradition of 4th of July hot dog eating contests. The problem with this? Very few Americans celebrate the 4th of July with hot dog eating contests. Trust me, I live in Ohio. Our state bird is a corn cob, and we pretty much live on grilled food in the summer. In short, this seller didn't really know much about the niche that they were trying to target, and it led to a collection that ultimately was a flop. Choosing a niche means choosing something that you truly care about. If you hate dogs, it's probably best that you don't focus your niche around dogs. So think inwardly about your own interests, hobbies, and the things that you're already knowledgeable about. Because ultimately, it's the lingo, inside jokes, and specific references that tend to catch the eye of your ideal customers. For example, if I wanted to make a shop all about Ohio, which is the state that I live in, I might make a shirt that says, "It's called pop, not soda," because this is a very specific reference that Ohioans will understand. I recommend starting by writing down everything that interests you and that you're knowledgeable about, just to give you a list to springboard from. From here, you have a few different options. I recommend starting with one of your interests. What words could be used to define this interest? Come up with a few variations and take the most general and base form of these terms into the eRank bulk keyword tool. For example, if your interest is camping, you might enter the terms camping, fishing, and hiking, because all of these interests can fall within the camping niche. Within the bulk keyword tool, we can see that all of these keywords have demand, but they also have a very high competition, which is okay. A competitive niche that is highly searched is still a great sign. From here, you can deep dive even further by clicking one of the terms. I'll click camping since it's the foundation of our niche. From this page, scroll down to the keyword ideas section and begin exploring some of the specific items that are trending within this niche. Remember, stickers is not a niche. SVG is not a niche. Sweatshirt is not a niche. Our niche is camping. So any of these items could be potential products that we could add to our camping shop. With camping being pretty popular, this niche was an easy target, but let's show an example of a niche that is a little more challenging. Let's say that you have an adult child at home with autism, and because you're close to this niche, you want to create sensory aids and toys for people with autism. You already know what item you want to make, but you want to make sure that the niche has potential before investing time into it. We'll enter some related terms into the bulk keyword tool, like autism, sensory toy, autism toy, and fidget toy. From here, we can see that fidget toys has a lot of demand, as do products themed around autism. But tying autism to the sensory aspect may be a little harder, since we aren't seeing a lot of data to support these two themes together. That's okay though. Instead of scrapping the idea, begin thinking of other individuals who may benefit from sensory toys. Fidget toys for adults with autism may have been too narrow, but we could also target those with ADHD, Down syndrome, and even those who suffer from dementia. On their own, these niches may not be enough to support the life of an entire shop. But when grouped together, they can all live under the single umbrella of fidget toys for neurotypical adults. Niching can be as in-depth and specific, or as easy and common as you'd like. Just know that each side will have its own unique challenges, which is why choosing a niche that you're passionate about is the most important factor. Trends sell, but passion sells more. It may need a bit of soul searching, as well as a bit of researching. But as you begin writing down all of the things that you enjoy and that you're knowledgeable about, it's very likely that one of your interests will lead you to your own profitable niche. Cue the funky lo-fi beat.